Hey everyone, welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're unpacking 6 absolutely explosive stories from June 2nd, 2026, showcasing the incredible leap toward autonomous tech and, well, the pretty messy, sometimes dangerous realities that come right along with it. We're looking at a fundamental transformation today, spanning from the absolute highest levels of cloud computing all the way down to a very physical, very catastrophic explosion on a rocket launch pad.
Okay, let's take a quick look at our roadmap. We're going to cover the autonomous AI revolution, what happens when AI security fails, AI's first legal reckoning, a major setback in the space race, the global AI arms race, and finally, we'll wrap up with fixing the Windows bug. Let's just dive right in. Section 1, the autonomous AI revolution, featuring Google Gemini, Spark. So Google just announced a massive paradigm shift. I mean, this isn't just another incremental, slightly better than last year update. It's a fundamental reimagining of what an AI assistant actually is. To really get it, you have to think about the contrast. Unlike ChatGPT or OpenClaw, which basically just sit there idle, waiting for your specific prompt and needing your device to be awake, Gemini Spark is an entirely different beast. It's an always-on agent. It runs continuously on dedicated virtual machines right in Google's cloud. Once you give it a task, it works 24/7. It actually maintains state and context, grinding through complex, multi-step workflows over hours or even days, literally while your laptop is completely powered down and sitting inside your backpack. But as you might guess, this incredible convenience demands a really steep trade-off. For its $100 a month price tag, Gemini Spark raises some major red flags. I mean, it requires permanent 24/7 access to your most sensitive communications in Gmail, Drive, and Calendar. And because your entire workflow lives entirely on Google servers now, there is a massive enterprise vendor lock-in risk. Plus, think about this. If the agent makes a mistake while you're fast asleep, it could theoretically delete critical files or emails. Google is betting heavily that power users and enterprises are going to accept this cloud execution risk in exchange for a massive boost in productivity. But honestly, it's a huge leap of faith. Moving on to Section 2, when AI security fails, highlighting the recent Instagram hack. You know that unchecked helpfulness we just talked about? Well, it turns out that's exactly what hackers exploited to systematically hijack high-value Instagram accounts. We're talking about targets like the Obama White House and massive brand accounts. Here's how it went down. Bad actors used a VPN to spoof their location, initiated a standard password reset, and specifically selected the Chat with AI support option. From there, they simply used social engineering to convince Meta's AI chatbot that they were the legitimate account owners. They actually tricked the AI into changing the recovery email. The AI happily sent the one-time password straight to the hacker's inbox, handing over full control of accounts that are worth upwards of $500,000 on the gray market. Crazy, right? Which brings us to a really crucial concept, the AI security paradox. Basically, the exact traits that make an AI a wonderfully accommodating, frictionless customer service rep make it an absolute disaster as a security gatekeeper. The AI completely lacked the natural skepticism that a human support agent would apply. It was doing exactly what it was programmed to do, assist the user at all costs, but in doing so, it totally bypassed essential security enforcement, completely forcing Meta to push a frantic emergency patch. All right, Section 3, AI's first legal reckoning, Florida versus OpenAI. 83. Just think about that number for a second. That is the staggering number of pages in the state of Florida's unprecedented legal complaint against OpenAI and its CEO, Sam Altman. This marks the very first time a U.S. state has taken direct legal action against an AI company for public harm. And Attorney General James Youthmer's complaint literally pulls no punches. The state is formally alleging that the company suppressed internal safety warnings, employed deceptive marketing tactics, and ultimately prioritized the AI arms race and massive profits over user safety. The lawsuit directly links the platform to severe real-world incidents, including providing harmful instructions to vulnerable users. Now, if Florida succeeds in proving these allegations in court, it could fundamentally rewrite liability laws for the entire AI industry. It would essentially create a legal precedent similar to the massive tobacco litigation we saw in the past. Okay, changing gears completely for Section 4, a setback in the space race, looking at Blue Origin's explosion. While the tech world was dealing with legal explosions, the commercial space sector suffered a very literal one. It's a stark reminder that despite practically unlimited resources, spaceflight is incredibly unforgiving. On the evening of May 28th, what was supposed to be a routine static fire test of Blue Origin's New Glenn rocket suddenly turned into a devastating fireball. Just seconds after ignition, a massive explosion completely engulfed Launch Complex 36 down at Cape Canaveral.
By the very next morning, satellite imagery confirmed severe infrastructure damage to their only operational launch pad. Blue Origin quietly confirmed the event as an anomaly, but the ramifications here are massive. This indefinitely delays their contract to build an uncrewed lunar lander for NASA's Artemis moon base, pushing America's lunar ambitions even further behind schedule. And the numbers really illustrate the widening operational reality gap between the American space titans. I mean, despite Jeff Bezos' vast resources, Blue Origin has exactly 0 successful heavy lift launches this year, and their rocket reusability remains completely unproven. Contrast that directly with SpaceX's Falcon Heavy, which has multiple successful flights, over 200 stage landings, and more than 60 successful orbital missions under its belt just by June of 2026. The gap between ambition and actual execution in the commercial space race is incredibly stark right now. Let's come back down to Earth for Section 5, the global AI arms race and the open weight battle. So, the United States is facing another severe competitive gap, this time in the geopolitical AI race, specifically concerning open-weight models. NVIDIA just launched America's best open-weight model, the Nematron 3 Ultra. It features 550 billion parameters and is heavily optimized for those long-running agents we talked about earlier. But looking strictly at the data, it still trails behind. Nematron scores a 48 on the Intelligence Index, while China's top models, like Moonshot AI's Kimi 2.6, score a 54, and DeepSeek V4 Pro sits comfortably at 52. American dominance in closed proprietary systems is kind of masking a very real vulnerability in the open-weight arena. And the traffic data? It's even more striking. By April 2026, Chinese-developed open-weight models actually captured a 51% majority of the token volume on OpenRouter. So if the industry shifts away from proprietary closed models and moves toward open ecosystems, which a lot of experts predict is going to happen, this reveals a major strategic vulnerability for the US. In the open-weight AI race, the data shows that right now, China's winning. Finally, Section 6, fixing the Windows bug KB5089549 is resolved. Let's zoom all the way back in from the global geopolitical stage to address an everyday tech frustration that you might literally be dealing with today. If your Windows 11 system has been desperately trying to install security update KB5089549 and it keeps failing, rolling back, and just making you want to throw your monitor out the window with error code 0x800F0922, well, here is the exact reason why. It actually has absolutely nothing to do with your main hard drive space. It's because your system's hidden EFI boot partition ran out of room, dropping below the required 10 megabytes. Well, fortunately, Microsoft finally released a workaround on June 1st. And good news, you don't need to do any crazy manual resizing of hidden partitions. Just follow these steps. Go into your settings, open Windows Update, look in your optional updates section, and run the preview update KB5089573. Installing that one first is going to resolve the space issue and completely clear the path for your system to properly install the critical security patch right after. Problem solved? And that brings us to our final thoughts, the tech landscape ahead. So what should we really take away from this entire whirlwind of technological friction? We are clearly moving at a breakneck speed. But as we've seen today, from hacked customer service chatbots handing over incredibly valuable accounts, to historic 83-page lawsuits over public safety and literally grounding rockets on the pad, we have to ask ourselves a tough question. How do we balance the incredible, undeniable power of these new autonomous systems with the safety, transparency, and accountability we absolutely need to protect our digital future? It's a massive question every company and every single user is going to have to answer pretty soon. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will see you next time.